Morning. Maybe it's afternoon. So we had a long morning of baseball, softball, and t-ball activities starting at 7 o'clock this morning. But I'm back. I'm going to go plant some beans. Dad started planting corn bright and early this morning. He's probably 100 plus acres in at least. And I'm going to try to go plant a future wheat field and then a 100-acre field that's also on that farm. Well, we've got this early variety in the tender. And yeah, see what we can make happen. Would have really liked to have planted all day, but at the same time, made a commitment to be one of the baseball coaches, and I like to watch my kids' sporting events. So I prioritized that over getting some beans in the ground, and well, no regrets yet. Right now we still are planting a 3.3 maturity bean. That is an earlier bean for us. After we run this out, we'll probably be planting like a 3.8 or 3.9, but like I've said before, I try to plant the early beans on ground that's going to wheat, so we can get that wheat crop planted. We need a full tender on this load. Probably try to take 10,000 pounds with us. If you can't tell, I'm losing my voice. It's really fun for me. So the seed tenders are pretty heavy in the tongue weight department. We had to flip our air compressor up on and air up our airbags. The truck nice and level. So when I had this bed put on, there's airbags underneath. They will air up to whatever PSI I tell them to. And we'll keep the truck a little bit leveler, more level. So you never knew there's a dividing wall right here where I can have two different kinds of seed or varieties of seed, two different hoppers, but I'm just going to put about 5,000 in each hopper, and that should run me for the rest of the day. We're trying to drop 165,000 seeds per acre. If I remember right, this seed is 2,900 seeds per pound, something close to that. Basically, we're dropping, I think, 59 pounds of seed per acre. So do the math, 10,000 pounds, we can plant a decent amount of seed. There's 130 acres on this farm I want to try to plant tonight. With the late start we're getting, that'll carry us well past midnight, I believe. But we have rain coming, so yeah, we're gonna try to get her done. Out of this variety. Forecast ain't looking the greatest though. Nope. Wonder what did that? Perhaps a raccoon? All right, we got her. There's all that hybrid. We got about 13,000 pounds of seed. That's enough for probably 200 acres, roughly. I always leave those lights on. That way I don't just close this and forget to shut the ignition off. You have to have your ignition on to see your scale weight. And those lights are keyed hot. Just a little something that I've started doing and has saved my battery a few times. So here's our remote. Go ahead and bump that up a little bit. Now I can feel the truck raising up a little bit.
Everybody, before we fill up this planter, I wanted to take a minute to tell you about a company that I started using their services with about 2 months ago, Factor. So a few of you have commented in some of the recent videos, hey, what's that kind of meal you're eating? Or you've maybe seen me eating these for lunch. I started eating these for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like I say, beginning of April. So far, I've really enjoyed the food that comes in these. This is blackened salmon, by far my favorite so far. But one thing I've liked about these is convenience. During planting fall harvest, our schedules are so chaotic. A lot of times I won't get home till really late. Kayla's already cooked for the kids. The kids are in bed, Kayla's in bed. It is so convenient already having food waiting on me at home any time of the day. Lunch, I've avoided takeout completely this spring by eating these in the tractor. I get a little heater in there, throw these in there for 20 minutes and they're good to go. But this is how they come. They come pre-packaged. They're already ready to go. They're not frozen. These are fresh meals, never frozen. Just keep them in the refrigerator. Good for 1 week. Thank them a few times. Throw in the microwave for 2 minutes and you have delicious food. If you would like to try one of these Factor meals, head over to factor75.com or click the link below and use code BFV50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Some nice salmon, broccoli. So this is probably my favorite meal that I've had. Kids love them too. That's the only problem I found with them, is trying to keep the kids away from them when they're in the fridge. There for a while I was stashing them in the farm fridge. Oh, hot, hot, hot! Woo. Wow!
It's pretty good.
So again, if you're interested in trying Factor, go to factor75.com or click the link below and use code BFV50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. I mean, these things really are good, and when a company reaches out to you and wants to know if you work with them and you realize you've already been using their product for a while, it's very easy to endorse something. So I definitely endorse these, otherwise I wouldn't be buying them.
All right, let's get the planter backed out. We're gonna pull it up to the fuel tank, top it off with fuel. That way, well, I can be doing that while I'm filling it up with seed. We don't need fuel, but I mean, we're just gonna be sitting here filling up in the driveway anyways. Might as well keep the fuel tank full. Haven't planted in over a week. Today's Saturday. Last time I planted was last Thursday. Oh, we need more air pressure. Oh, there we go. We released. Walking over here to get the seed tender. This would be a great time, if you're enjoying these videos, to give it a thumbs up. Kind of help us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you really like to support the channel, check out the link in the description. You can get you a non-sweat stained Brian's Farming Videos hat from farmfocus.com, along with some cool shirts. We got a couple that I just keep forgetting to wear. The Grower Not a Shower shirt shows the growth stages of corn, and it's got a funny saying. We gotta pack this seed in here because I'm gonna be a ways away and I'm gonna finish late at night. And well, we're gonna be right at the edge of how much we can plant on a fill-up. So I've got this thing pretty full. We gotta move some stuff around here. So we just put close to 9,000 pounds of seed in there, but with overlap and everything. That's one bad thing about the Avatar. You do overlap more than you would if you had a regular planter. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. Here goes George. Can't believe we're seeing him out here as hot as it is. George has a very small operating range. If it gets much over 50, he's out, and if it gets much over 80, he's out, and it's 81. They're folded up, and down the road we'll go. Head back to lane and look over there and I see Dad. I didn't even know he was at this farm today. But he must have just got here because this field's not planted yet. He must just be pulling in. On the other side of that tree line's another cornfield, so he probably planted it and now he's working his way over here. So I guess at least we'll be by Pops tonight. He can run 10 miles an hour and I can't though. And he's got a 60-foot wide planter, so he'll be done soon, or sooner. Look at this guy. Gracias. Cheers. So it says I'm getting a sensor miscommunication on sensor number 48. I got a feeling that wire's loose. It's not preventing planting. One thing it's going to prevent is if that unit stops, I might not know it. Now, when it does start making contact for a brief moment, every pass it is turned green. So I have all confidence that we are planting, but I am going to go out there and jiggle that sensor a little bit. And if it doesn't work, we're going to confirm that we are planning, and then just continue to send it, because we're not chasing sensors all day. We can do that when it's raining. So we got airflow. With this being an air drill, we're always blowing air through this tube. You can easily tell if you're plugged if there's no air coming out there. The sensor for this is all the way up here, right there. Well, when you make one down and back and it's 5.5 acres, it makes for some efficient planting. So this is a 98 acre field, and that's it over here. Like I said before we left, we're going to be really close to running out of seed. BJ just called me a little bit ago and said, hey, I'm not doing anything. If you want, I'll bring your truck down and top you off and take your truck back to the barn. So that's what we're going to do, and then we won't have to worry about it anymore, which will be nice. We are getting some acres planted today. It's going pretty smooth so far. I think I'm going to get done here before dark, which is kind of surprising to me. And if I do, I will probably try to plant the rest of this variety out in another field. I think Dad is really liking his ability to go 10 to 12 miles an hour, because that thing is flying and it is rolling the dust. Like, he's going to be done. He's in a 70 acre field. It's going to take him like an hour and a half maybe. He just put 25 bags of corn in it, and BJ went after more corn. They only put 25 bags in because he's switching varieties pretty often right now, just trying to try out some different stuff. Some things we'll only get 25 bags, which isn't a full box, which kind of sucks because you got to throw bags in the planter. But if you want to try out a variety, 25 bags, that's roughly 60 acres at the rate we're planting. We usually plant 32,000 to 35,000 seeds per acre. A bag of corn, which is what we would call one unit of corn, is 80,000 kernels. So corn is measured in kernels, and yeah, that's 1 unit of corn. So therefore, 25 bags or 25 units is just a shade over 50 acres. So BJ was going to bring my truck down here, and he called me and said, hey, you got your key fob in your pocket? Freaking hate push button start for this reason. I just end up leaving this thing in my pocket instead of in the truck, and then people can't bring me my truck. I don't like push button start. I wish we still had keys.
Back in 20 minutes, Dad needs the corn, but I just unloaded on the back of my truck.
There he is. I mean, we're 70 acres in now, but we haven't ran out of seed yet. Checking the tire pressure. Do that myself. Oh, got to put our safety railing down. Otherwise, we'll crush it when we fold up. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like Dad's done for the night, or at least done here. I don't know if he's going to go plant anywhere else or not. All right, we're done. So we're 130 acres in for the day. Not bad for starting at 2. Oh, we got the big passes. So we're not going to stay out here super late, but I have enough seed to plant roughly 80 acres. And I'm planting this thing empty, and then I'm quitting for the night. In this field, these are efficient passes. This will get us done as quickly as possible. I'm also planting this field because right now where I'm sitting is generally a wet spot in this field. Right now it's in great shape. We have rain rolling in tonight, and after that rain, it is supposed to continue to rain for the next 3 days. So this might be the best shape I get to plant this spot in, which is kind of why we're here. And I want to see how smooth we got this field. This is the field that I've worked this field twice this year in different directions. We were farming half of it this way and half of it this way. This front half where we're at was farmed this direction last year and every year before that. So I'm curious to see how much of a difference that unpreferred rolling harrow made. I mean, the field looks smooth, but we'll really be able to tell when we start going across the old rows. Now, part of the reason it is so rough is because of using a chisel plow in this field with no field cultivator. We did that 1 year, and that was a mistake. And you can still see every ridge from that. Big mistake. 10 out of 10, don't recommend. Gotta change our fields here. Should auto-populate our field. Yep, there we go. There's a variety. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, nope. Gotta change our pattern. We're going with the straight AB. Let's see here. Not that one. We want that one. So those 2 points, that's our straight line. Basically follows that road. So that should, that's gonna be nice. That's a long pass. Be curious to see how many acres that is all the way to those trees down there. It's a little over a mile, I believe. So it's still a little bumpy, but not bad. Well, maybe it is a little worse than I thought. It was way worse before. Dinner time. When you're just going back and forth, you look forward to stuff like that. Kind of breaks the monotony. I'm going to have a Dr. Pepper in 1 hour. I'm looking forward to that Dr. Pepper. Means we're starting to get low on seed. We got about probably 15 to 20 acres left of seed. So that's about where I thought we'd run out. I thought we'd get about 80 acres of this field done. So my main camera just told me that the audio is full. So we're using the DJI Action Cam at the moment because that's the only thing I can record on. But we don't have much left for this video anyways. We are nearing the end. Maybe another 10 acres, maybe. Some people have been asking about my camera, and this is what I use for almost everything you guys watch. This is the whole setup. It's a Canon M6 Mark II. I don't know what kind of microphones those are, but they're really small, they don't take up a lot of space, and they work really well. I got a quick detach plate on the bottom of my camera. That way I can pop it on and off of here real easy. And then that's a tripod ball head, basically with a magnet screwed into the bottom of it. We're empty. So, yep, 88 acres of this field. That puts us right at like 215 to 220 for the day. Like I say, if we're not starting, I don't think the tractor was in the field planting until right around 3:30, so not bad, not bad. I really wish we could have started sooner. Could have set a record, could have had a PR. All right, folks, that's going to be it for this video. I'm just going to park this thing in the shed and head home. If you would, do me a favor, and if you haven't, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I have my voice back by then.